Hello everyone. So today we are back with another coding problem. Now this particular problem can be helpful for your exams like TCS Digital, TCS Ninja, Infosys and Wipro entrance exams. Okay. And this problem is on Hacker Earth. I will be sharing the link of this problem in the description below. So the problem statement is idea is to take a number as input and print a pattern of boxes if input is 2. Two boxes are to be printed. One inside the other smallest box will be of size 3 by 3. The next bigger box will be 5 by 5. The next one will be 7 by 7. So on and so forth. For input 1, then draw a box of dimension 3 by 3. For input 2, outer box will be 5 by 5 and inner box will be 3 by 3. For input 3, the outer box will be 7 by 7 within 2 more inner boxes. So for n outermost box will be n into 2 plus 1 in size. Okay. With n minus 1 inner boxes, all boxes will be top left aligned as shown in the figure. Now this might be confusing, but once we move to the test cases, we will be easily able to understand this. Input format, first line of input contains a number n. So only one input, which is number n. And the value of n is within range 0 to 25. So it will be greater than 0 and less than 25. So 1 to 24 is the range of n. Now let's see the sample test case which has been provided. So sample test case is 2 and the sample output is like this. So we can see if the sample input is 2, we have a outer box of 5 by 5 within inner box of 3 by 3. Okay, and we can see that with values between the boxes are white space. Okay, we can see these are the blank spaces. So this is the problem. Now think about the solution on your own. It is kind of really good problem in terms of running loops and thinking about the if else conditions. Okay, so think about the solution on your own and then come check the solution which I provide to you. So guys, now let's talk about solution for this problem. So first thing which we need to observe is that when n is equals to 1, we have output square of 3 by 3. N is equals to 2, it is 5 by 5. N is equals to 3, it is 7 by 7. So they already provided the formula in the problem statement itself. N into 2 plus 1. Okay, but we can understand it like this. So for 1, it is for n is equals to 1, it is 3. 2, it is 5. 5 means 5 by 5. Okay. 3, it is 7 by 7. Okay. So simply it does mean that the resultant value is multiplied by 2 plus 1. Okay, this is 1. So 1 into 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 into 2 plus 1 is 5. 3 into 2 plus 1 is 7. So that way 2 into n plus 1 is the dimension of the box which we require. Okay, so we receive the dimensions. Okay, now 2 into n plus 1. Okay, now first thing which we can do is if we observe the first column, the last column, the first row and last row is always completely filled. Okay, we can see clearly in every cases the first column, the first row, the last row, the first column and the last column is always completely filled. Okay, so we can add a condition that if so suppose we are running a outer loop with variable I and inner loop with variable j. Okay, so for I, and this is for inside for loop which is for j. Okay, so this will be more clear when we'll be writing code, but let's understand as of now. So what we can check in condition, if I is equals to 0, it means first row I is equals to 2 into n minus 1, 2 into n plus 1 minus 1. Now see, here I have written 2 into n plus 1. Now what does it mean? it means that the last value, okay, which is 3. Suppose n is equals to 1, 2 into n plus 1 is 3, okay, but array starts with 0, that's why we need to subtract 1 from it, okay. 2 into n plus 1, we need to also do minus 1 to get the last value or last column. But as we have plus 1 minus 1, we can subtract both and we can just simply write 2 into n, okay. So we check the condition. If I is equals to 0 means the first row, and if I is equals to 2 into n, which is the last row, okay. Same way for last column and first column, okay, first column and last column we need to check. So we are checking for j is equals to 0 or j is equals to 2 into n, same as I, okay. So we with these four conditions, if these conditions satisfy, we will be printing star, okay. If this condition doesn't satisfy, we will be printing space. Okay, now this outer box has been printed. Now let's talk about the inner box. Now for inner box, if we observe carefully, uh, what we can see is when value of I or value of j means column value and row value is even, okay, we can see here also it is even, here also it is even, here 4 is also even, here column number 4 is also even, here 6 is already even because it is the outer loop, okay. So outer loop will be printed completely, so that's another case. But for inner loops, if we check, all the stars are on when value of I or j is even, okay. So we can we can add another condition. When I mod 2 equals 0 means value of I is 0, and also we need to add one more thing. Why? Because suppose if we are checking I mod 2 is equals to 0 only, then what will happen, the star will also get printed here, because see here also value of I is even, okay, but it exits means this particular column is column number 5, and we want to print until the value of column is 4 only. So we need to check another condition, j less or equals to I, okay. So this is how we can print, we can add a condition for this particular inner loop, inner box loop, sorry, inner box row, okay. Same way we can check for j also. So j mod 2 equals 0, and here we are checking for I less or equals to j. Why? Because see here also, here at particular this place value of j is even only, here value of j is 4 but value of I is 5. So we don't want to print when value of I exceeds the value of j. That's why we are checking here the condition I less than equals to j. So with these conditions, we will be able to solve this problem. And if this condition doesn't satisfy, we are printing the white space, okay. So now let's move to write the code quickly. So this particular problem on hacker, this particular problem is for C only. That's why I have written the code in C. Okay. So first I have imported the library. Then inside the function I have taken a variable n. Then scanf means I have received the value of n from the console. Now I am running an outer loop which is I. So I is equals to row value, and inner loop which is j, and j is equals to columns. Now here I added the conditions I is equals to j, I is equals to 2 into n, which is which we have already seen. Okay, so these all conditions, these four conditions. So these four conditions are here already. After that, I am checking I mod 2 is equals to 0 and j less than equals to I, or j mod 2 is equals to 0 and I less than equals to j. Okay, if these all, if any condition satisfy, then we have to print star. else we are printing the white space. Okay, after this inner for loop, we are printing a new line. Okay, because we want to go to the new line after once all the columns are done. When we enter new row, we want to uh, go to the new row. Okay, that's why I'm printing a new line here after the inner loop gets executed. So this is how we can solve this problem. And okay, so let's just copy this code and run it here in HackerRank itself. So I'm compiling. Okay, so output and expected output both are correct. Sample disk is passed. Now I'm submitting the problem, and we can see both our solution is expected accepted for both the inputs. So yes, this is how we can solve this problem. This was kind of simple one, but I thought this problem is particular good if we want to refresh our if for loop concepts and if else condition concepts. Okay. So thank you guys for watching our video. We will be uploading new videos soon.